And it's like that. Positive energy. Calm, positive, calm. Yeah. You see me, might sound hard than a trap, but I ain't gonna talk no gibberish. I'll talk facts about how we've all been lied to, but we don't care about that. Constant distractions, all setbacks with iPhones and iPads, all that crap. Can't get rid of it, even though at times I'm a hypocrite, struggling, but I never tell myself I'm gonna quit. League on my own, I'm hardly seen around like that goes. Third eyes open like nobody knows I'm crazy. The most people don't know, so I speak my mind, cause that's what I chose. When I talk real talk, then I explode, cause I got a lot to say, cause I know not just that, the feelings inside most. It's positive energy. I'm about that positive energy. I know that positive energy, that's what I'm bringing, and that's what I'm meant to be. It's that positive energy. Yeah, positive energy. Yeah, positive energy, that's what I'm on, and that's what I'm meant to be. I'm about that positive energy. I know that positive energy. I'm like positive energy.
Yo, welcome on everybody. Welcome to the Ross Barnett Show. As you can see, we got a really special guest. I know the haters did not expect us to pull this one off. But yeah, we thought we were going to do something really special for you. And I'd like to welcome to the show, man like Robbie. What you saying, bro?
It's good to be here, man.
Yo, thank you.
Here.
Do you know what? Yeah, this is the Ross Barnett Show, innit? So we got to keep it 100% real, because that's how we do it, innit? Just believe technical problems we've had in the past. Yeah, we really had it, because we've just done a whole half hour of an interview and the audio went corrupt. But you know what? It's real life. It's live TV, so we're just gonna have to roll with it again, innit? So
it's all good, man.
We're gonna go
it
through.
Happens.
Yeah, man. It goes through, man. So over to you, my big broski.
All right, this is a question that I've got for you. I've just thought about. Me and Rome were watching a video of you on a stage back in your Soundboy days. Can you tell us a bit about your experience in the Soundboy days and your?
Don't let him call you a Soundboy.
Soundboy,
you're a sound man. You're a sound man.
Soundboy, you know what I mean? You know what? Back in the day, a man call you that. You know what I mean? You wanna, yeah, boss. Yeah, I can't Soundboy.
Yeah, disrespect.
Man, a bad man around there, man. I DJ. Yeah. That was my life, man. That was my life for many years. You know what I mean? I used to be on Sovereign Sound System, Big Sound. You know what I mean? And I used to. I started off as a box boy, just lifting up the boxes, and I just started to. I just used to love the MCs. I used to love lyrics, and I was like, I could do that, and I started writing my own lyrics and that, and like. Earlier on in the dance, they used to call it like the warm-up period, right?
Okay.
And, you know, a lot of times I'd be there, you know what I mean? There'd be like 3-4 people there. I remember one time we used to play at this place, right, where it was literally like these old guys and they played dominoes.
Yeah.
Right? This was like right back in the day, yeah. They would be slamming them dominoes down on the table, right? And I'd be there on the mic chatting and they go, yo, young boy, top of nice, man. I'll play, man. It was funny, man. But, I just learnt from there. And from there, I kind of started to become really popular.
Yeah.
And then I got spotted by a couple of labels, that established reggae labels, and they asked me to come and do a tune. And I did a couple of tunes, and I did a tune called "Proud to Be Black," which was really big. It blew up, went to #1 in the reggae charts, and from that, wow, I mean, that took me to a lot of places all around England, all around Europe. I even done a reggae sun splash in Jamaica. I appeared on that.
Wow.
You know, which
That's
was amazing.
Big. That's
I remember,
big.
I remember I came out on stage, man. There was like about 20,000 people there.
Yeah.
You know, and when I remember, I never forget when I did it. When I came on stage, it was the morning.
Right.
You know, because it's like it goes on all night.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
you
yeah,
come
yeah.
out. So I'd been there like literally the whole night, right? And like you see, like you're looking on the people and that, you know, you're backstage and you're looking out, but it's dark.
Yeah.
But when you come on stage in the morning now, it's like everybody, you can see everyone.
Yeah.
And in Jamaica, they're kind of like, all right, so where are going with now?
Yeah.
Right, because you're new, you know, I was, even though they knew they was familiar with the tune Proud to Be Black.
Yeah.
But as me as an artist, that's the first time I'm performing in Jamaica. So Jamaica crowd is like, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
But they're like,
Yeah, they're hard.
so where am I? Where are boss? Let me see what this Englishman I'm going with now.
Yeah.
I went on, I ripped it, man. It was brilliant. And Yeah, that was my life for a very long time, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
When you
Very
put on
long
the
time.
aerosol cans, and you know you're big.
yeah. Lighter, touch.
That sea of people must just look crazy. Sometimes, you know what, even now when you watch them old Sunsplash and all that, the amount of people there, it just looks crazy.
incredible.
On and on for
It looks crazy.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Those stage shows were, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, big times. Okay, so, and am I correct in thinking you're born in London, right? You weren't born in Jamaica?
No, I wasn't born in Jamaica. I was born in London, but my parents are Jamaican.
Okay, okay.
So, you know, that's where I get it from, you know. But yeah, no, I was actually born in London, northwest London.
Okay. I gotta ask. Who is your favourite dancehall artist?
Favorite? I can't pinpoint. I had so many.
Yeah.
Yellow Man.
You know, Yellow Man. Yellow Man was good at for a time.
Yeah.
I used to like the guys that used to have a lot of lyrics. I used to like Papa San, Lieutenant Stitchy, those guys.
Yeah.
But they weren't great on record. But they were on stage. They were brilliant.
Wicked Mike.
And then on record, I've always loved Buju. I've always loved Shabba. You know, so many artists that you can pick out. You know.
Yeah. Supercat is mine.
Supercat is a character. I'll tell you, I met him. I remember the first time I met him was in New York.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll tell you, if you ever meet Supercat, I don't know what he's like now. I haven't seen him for years and years, but
Yeah.
he's a guy that literally he talks to you like how he does music.
Okay.
Everything rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you know, he's got this image of being a real bad man.
Yeah.
Right, where apparently
He is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even just talk.
Yeah.
And he's so funny, man. And Ninja Man as well used to be as well. He was a character.
Yeah.
I remember because I worked on the radio for BBC as well. Excuse me. I did a show for years called the Crucial Robbie Reggae Show, which was a really big show. And I remember one time I went to Jamaica, and I went down and I was interviewing a lot of artists in Jamaica down at Jammy Studio,
Yeah.
Arrow Studio, and that, right. And I interviewed Ninja Man. And I was using some recording equipment. I used to call it a UA. It was recording Ninja Man. And he goes to me, "Yo, rude boy, I like that mic, I like that equipment that we have, you know." And he goes, "Give me it now. When you finish, just give me that." And I was like, I can't give it to you, man. This is BBC's equipment.
Yeah.
And he said, "Just tell him, say Ninja Man. Take it off of you." He said, "Them know me a bad man, so you'll be all right."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that guy, him and Supercat, they were characters.
Yeah.
Reggae music used to have so many characters. It's unbelievable, man. Some of the guys, man, I'll tell you, I would be in Jamaica a lot of times, and I just go to the studio and I just sit down there all day, and you just listening to these guys talk, man. Yeah, I'll tell you, they were so funny.
Some amazing stories, I bet, man.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, bar Arsenal, what are your roots? Where your parents are from? Jamaica? What parts of Jamaica are they?
So my dad was originally from Kingston,
Yeah.
and my mum was originally from Old Harbour,
Yeah.
which is in St. Catherine.
Yeah.
And that's the roots of them. I still get to go down there a lot. My mum's passed now, unfortunately, but still get over to Jamaica as much as I can. I haven't been for a few years actually, but it's still a place I love. Still got a lot of family over there. So yeah,
The roots still there. All right, then. So, okay, so you're born in London, but how did Arsenal become your team?
Arsenal became my team through my cousins because I was then living in Luton for a time, and my cousins was like, sometimes I go and watch Luton Town play and go, "Yo, Robbie, what's that? Luton? What are you doing, man? You're from London, Luton."
Yeah.
So I started going to watch Arsenal with them. Just go to Highbury, and from the first time I went there, I was just bitten, man. Yeah, I mean, you go there, you watch a game. It's completely different to going to watch, say, a team like Luton. The atmosphere, the size of the stadium, it was brilliant, and the camaraderie amongst the fans. You were living in a time in that era. It was the football hooliganism age. So,
Yeah.
But fans were really together, and also Arsenal was one of those teams where they had a lot of black fans. I think that was a lot to do with they used to have a guy called Denton.
Okay.
That was sort of like known as the leader of the Arsenal firm, and he was a black guy, which was a rarity.
Wow. Okay.
In those days, you know what I mean? And because as well, Arsenal had quite a lot of black players. So and the area where Arsenal's from. So a lot of black fans used to feel comfortable to go there because it wasn't any ground as a black fan that back in the day you could go to. Grounds like, and I find this really amazing now when I go to these grounds, but grounds like Chelsea, you never saw no black fans there, one or two.
Yeah.
When you went down to those grounds, Chelsea, West Ham, Millwall, as a black fan, you're kind of taking your life in your hands. You're down there, there'd be skinheads down there, there was a lot of racist fans around in those days. The right wing had really got into a lot of those clubs, but they didn't at Arsenal, they hadn't really at Tottenham, they hadn't really at QPR. That's where you'd see more black fans. But Arsenal always had a lot of black guys going to watch. So, yeah, and I just fell in love with Arsenal, man. You know, it's just, I love football already. And then going there and watching, you know, when you go and watch football for real, you're there and the atmosphere is amazing.
That's what I was going to ask, is your experience at your first game and your feelings, because I've been to a few football stadiums and you just don't feel welcome at all.
Yeah, well, you did at Arsenal. You know what I mean? As I said, you did feel welcome, and the atmosphere and the camaraderie on the terraces was brilliant. And, you know, you just loved every minute of it. You know, from you went there, from you on your way there to leaving there, it was just brilliant. And, others always loved going to football. I love the atmosphere at football.
Yes, like football. You know, it's like a lot of things. You know, like when you watch it, like through the TV or what, it's not the same. Like when the atmosphere is there and you're hearing people cheering and you're seeing that. Yeah, it's different still. Different gravy.
Even watching Sunday, I love go and watch Sunday football.
Yeah.
Saturday, local teams and that, not the big stadiums, just on grass.
Yeah. It's live, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so how did you come up with the idea of Arsenal Fan TV?
So Arsenal Fan TV now, I've got a friend called Coogan, and he's got a boxing channel called IFL TV. Big Arsenal fan, we've been going to Arsenal for years. From Highbury days, we used to go together. And I used to like shadow him sometimes. Well, not a lot, but every now and again he'd say, "Yeah, Robbie, come and hold a camera for me.
Yeah,
I'm doing some filming at such and such a fight." I knew nothing about cameras, but he'd say, "I'll focus it, just hold it."
Yeah,
and I used to say to him, "Coogan, why not try this for football?" But he'd be like, "I don't think it will work for football because you're only going to get to interview. You can't get to interview players." I was like, I don't want to interview the robot players anyway. I want to interview fans.
Yeah.
So I just decided. I went to America. I was actually in at a church conference that I went to, and there was a pastor there speaking, and he said that, he goes, if you've got an idea, right, he goes, you should execute that idea. And I was like, you know what? But I was sitting in this thing, I was thinking, I'm not even sure where the money I talk about it after the time.
Yeah.
You know, you go there, but you're really sceptical. I go, yeah, they're probably just after the offering and that. But this man, I know I shouldn't say that. But you know what? This pastor, man, trust me, his words of wisdom on loads of different things, but on particular on business, he said, if you've got an idea, execute the idea. So don't just sit down all day talking about, yeah, I had an idea, you know.
Yeah.
He goes, you must go, and he said, as a matter of fact, he said, I challenge every person in here, when you go back home to wherever it is you're going to the business idea, to execute that. And it's because of that guy, I'd say, why, you know, he gave me the inspiration, you know, because I had the idea for a while, and I just went back and I said, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had no experience in filming. I had no experience in. I'd done a bit of media from working on BBC, and I'm used to crowds from my music career, but I had no experience in social media. I had no YouTube account, no Facebook, no nothing.
Yeah.
And I just literally went back, and then a friend of mine asked him to build a website for me, and it turned out that my friend was like, well, you know what, I've got a bit of experience in camera work. I can help you on this. And then we just literally pitched up outside a game. First game was we went to was Arsenal Tottenham.
Okay.
Filmed, got a good response from that. Thought, wow. We then the next week went and done Arsenal playing Aston Villa away. We went and did that game. Got a great response for that. And from then on, we just said, you know what, every single game we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
And it was hard at first. When I say at first, for many years it was hard.
Yeah.
Because, you're not really, people think, YouTube is massive income. It's not. And, you have to get big numbers to get a good income. And we wasn't getting that. But I was always like, it will come. If we produce good content, it will come eventually. And it was tough sometimes. I'd go to games and, I didn't even have the money to pay for the parking. And sometimes we'd have to park far away and walk in. I'd go to games and like all my money, because I was working at the time, and all my money I was putting into this for tickets and all that, and I'm like, all I've got left, I've got like a couple of quid left, I'm just going to do some packed lunch. Go to football and eat. Go to football eating packed lunch ain't very cool. Wow. So you have to go in your car and you eat that, and then you go to the game. Right, go lads. But listen, you know what, man, when you put it in, I think when you put it in, when you start to get the rewards later on, as it starts to get bigger, you appreciate it more as well. Yeah. Because you realise that, you know what, grafted for this, man. I put the work in. This is, so a lot of people look on it sometimes and they think you just arrived to where you at overnight. Man. You get that. Yeah. I'm sure you guys get that as well. It's work, man. They don't see the miles you put in. They don't see the amount of work you put in, the lack of sleep. Yeah. I was working full time, and I get home from games, and by the time I'm finishing editing and stuff like that, sometimes after falling asleep a couple of times, it'd be like 6:30 in the morning. I'll be up at 7 to go to work. Yeah. So
graft, man. Graft.
So I'm a fan of Arsenal Fan TV. A lot of my friends are Arsenal Fan TV fans, because in Bristol we haven't got many Arsenal fans. We've got a few. Do you think you guys have more non-Arsenal fans than Arsenal fans?
No.
And do you think that's because nobody else is doing what you're doing?
I think there are a few people doing what we're doing now. There's one for Chelsea, there's one for Man United, there's one for West Ham, and they're good, pretty decent as well. So, there are more and more of them coming through. I think we've got probably more Arsenal fans because, that's what we've been built on. But we've got a lot of fans of other clubs. Admittedly, you'll get some fans that are, I'm just going to go on there when they lose. Like a Tottenham fan. When they lose, I'm going on there to have a laugh at them, the banter. You've got other fans that like, a big proportion of fans that I meet now that are just like, you know what, you guys are real. It's real. Even though I don't support Arsenal, I was chatting to this guy a couple of nights ago, he's a big Liverpool fan, and he goes, even though I don't support Arsenal, but he goes, you guys are real. He goes, everybody that you have on Arsenal Fan TV, we've got somebody like that at Liverpool. Yeah. So he goes, I can relate to everything you talk about. I can relate to your passion. I can relate to... So, I think that's why it's kind of resonated with so many fans of other clubs. Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's the passion from all the players. You can see, like you put a lot into the Arsenal fan, they put a lot into going to the games as well. Yeah. And this is, listen, from the beginning, this is what it's all about. It's about giving ordinary fans a platform because... even in the past, a lot of podcasts and stuff like that, I felt that they're a bit cliquey. In that, if an ordinary fan wanted to get on, they'd be like, well, who are you? How many followers you got on Twitter? Actually, nah, mate, we don't. Do you write a blog? Nah. Yeah. Whereas with us, I think we're the only platform where you ain't got to be. It doesn't matter. We have a fan who comes on recently. He's blind. And he gives some brilliant opinions. Yeah, brilliant opinions. And I had an email the other day from a fan who said, Robbie, respect, man. That guy you got on, who comes on who's blind. He goes, he's brilliant. He goes, but what I like is, he goes, you've never mentioned about him being blind once. And I'm like, yeah, because he's a fan. Yeah. And this is what it's about. This is a platform for fans. It's not about whether you're blind, whether you're black, whether you're white, gay, whatever. This is just about Arsenal fans. So if you want to come on and have your say about the team that you support, because all of these guys and girls and that, they spend their hard-earned money to go and watch Arsenal play. And when you're a fan of a club, you can't leave, can you? Nah, for real. Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez, they could leave at the end of the season, or even January. Fans, you can't leave.
Well, do you know what? I think like
There's one there that's left.
Have you left, have you?
yeah.
Well, there's been a few of us who left recently.
No, but
He's had
All
enough.
right,
Had enough.
it's been a long road. No, but one of the questions that does intrigue me is, you know, I think one of the things that is well known for is the rants. Yeah, when there's a bad result, have you got like a favorite rant? Is there like something that stands out in your mind that you think that person went like too far? Or
I think like the one of the videos that really put us on the map was when we got beaten a few seasons ago. We lost at home to Aston Villa on the first game of the season. There's a guy called Chris Hudson, and I think it was a rant, but what he said on that day was why that video went viral is because what he said on the day is what everybody felt.
yeah,
And it just blew. And that's just still always been my favourite. And because I know sort of the history around it, in the fact that we were just taking out our equipment to start filming. I remember those times we're still fairly new. And he walked up and he just started going, listen, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I was going, hold on, let us take the camera out and we get an interview. And he goes, listen, what I've got to say, you won't want to put that out. And I said, no, we will. Because I said, as long as you're not abusive or anything like that, we are here to make fans have their opinions. And he had his opinion, and that video went viral. And I know that the club, I know 100%, because they've told me since, that club officials, all that, they all saw that and they were like, ooh.
yeah.
And I think that's the first time that a club like Arsenal and any other club have sort of felt like a fan talk to them directly, look in the camera and talk to the hierarchy at the club and say, this is not good enough.
Yeah.
And that really happened until we kind of came around, you know what I mean? That, fans, ordinary fans, as I said, you ain't got to have no followers or nothing. You're an ordinary fan. I think that's what I'm most proud of, is the fact that we've been able to give those ordinary guys a chance to have their say.
Okay.
Do you think the money in football now, because there's just money's been thrown around mad now, do you think it's ruining the game or improving the game?
Do you know what? In one way, it's improving the game, because I remember when I used to go football back in the day, the decrepit grounds and stuff like that. I mean, I'll speak to a lot of fans and they'll be like, it was brilliant. Yeah. I'm like, actually, it weren't brilliant in those days, you know what I mean? It was the open stands, it was decrepit, it was brilliant because we were having a laugh, but if we're being truthful, the conditions and the grounds, the state of the grounds and everything were really, really poor.
Yeah.
So the money's helped that. The money's helped us to have better players in the Premier League. You see some of the players that are playing now at every level, at every club, is really good. So on that, I think the product is better. I think the standard of football is better all round. But then the money, though, has taken away a bit from things like the atmosphere. The fact that, back in the day, an ordinary fan could just rock up to Highbury and just pay your money on the day and get in.
Yeah.
You can't do that now. I mean, you got to be a season ticket holder. You got tickets in advance. So some of the local people in the area can never get a chance to go and watch their local team, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Young people have got no chance in a lot of cases of getting to watch Arsenal, because it's just too expensive, like 50, 60, 70 pound a ticket. How's a kid of 16, 17 going to afford that? Even if you're working, that's nearly half your wages gone. So on one hand, it's been great. On the other hand, it's not been great. I think the clubs need to try and readdress that balance, where they can create a thing where ordinary people can come, working class people can, Arsenal's the biggest example of it. I mean, their corporate section is absolutely amazing. I've been lucky enough to go in there. It's incredible. But for ordinary fans, they can't afford to go in that corporate section. And what are you doing for the ordinary fans who come? That balance needs to be addressed.
Okay. Well, time-wise, we're there. So look,
It's quick.
Yeah, it's quick, man. Time's flowing, but do you know what? We really appreciate you.
No, I
coming
really
on
appreciate
and
it. Really
talking to us,
appreciate
bruv.
coming on.
So thank you so much. Basically, for everybody who might not know, Arsenal Fan TV, where else can people connect with you? So Arsenal Fan TV is the YouTube channel.
So we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any social media platform that's free, we'll be on it.
all right, wicked.
We'll jump on it and we'll get on it. So,
Nah,
we're sort of we're on every platform, man. I mean, that's another thing. Like the sort of revolution in social media has allowed us to be where we are. Has allowed us to be, where we can be on this platform where years ago we couldn't have been.
Yeah.
It was only just run by the big media companies, but it's allowed companies like us now to become media companies. So it's great.
I want to big up my two bona fide Arsenal fans who I've known from primary school and nursery, Roy Bailey and Terry Granger,
Big up.
who always talk about you, Robbie. all
Big
the
up.
time.
What's your team anyway? You haven't really revealed it, man.
I don't want to reveal that.
Nah, what do you reckon, Robbie? What do you
Bristol City or
reckon?
Bristol Rovers?
Nah. Come on.
It ain't Tottenham.
No, it's nothing.
Man United.
Gets in
Yeah.
there.
What, come on, Roy. Exactly. You just,
Don't tell me. Oh, what it is? I know I'm from Bristol, but
What it
my
is, I
dad.
used to have trials. I used to have trials.
You had trials for Man United.
It's your story. What you were gonna.
You know what, right? Yeah, I'm man that make up, right? Just admit it. There's one guy that I saw the other day, right? And he goes, he's a Man United fan, right? 'Cause I'm always bantering man in London all the time. And I said, all right, come on. Tell me why. Let me hear the usual story. Because the usual one is my dad, my mum.
Yeah.
He goes, Robbie, I was just a glory hunter, man.
At least you get to real.
And I go, yo, man.
Man United was big back in when I was in primary.
So you're glory hunter too.
And I'm the only Man United fan out of my friends.
I go to the guy, I go, respect. The first Man United fan I've ever met is on. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was a glory hunter, man. He goes, Man United's winning everything, man. I just jumped on them.
Why not?
Listen, bruv. Respect, man.
Respect,
thank you so
man.
much.
You're
So
all
much.
the best
Respect.
as well.
Guys,
Alright.
thank you all for tuning in this week. We're going to catch up with you soon. I want to say big up to Benny in the background. We'll catch you again on the Ross Barnett Show, yeah? Peace.
And it's like that. Positive energy. Calm. Positive, calm. Yeah. You see me, might sound hard than a trap, but I ain't gonna talk no gibberish. I'll talk facts about how we've all been lied to, but we don't care about that. Constant distractions, all setbacks with iPhones and iPads, all that crap. Can't get rid of it, even though at times I'm a hypocrite struggling, but I never tell myself I'm gonna quit. League on my own, I'm